Hi guys, Ali Duzet here with my assistant. And yesterday I had us assess our commitments and make kind of an inventory of all the things that we're committed to. We are in the middle of preparing for this Eclipse portal that's coming up on October 14th. And this Eclipse portal is going to allow a lot of things to show up for us organically that are going to have us reevaluating our commitments and choosing where we need to set more boundaries. Why? So that we can receive the acknowledgement that we need, and so that we can put ourselves first in a healthy way, so that we are able to put the oxygen masks on ourselves. Okay, so you're probably aware that many people really struggle to take care of themselves. We overextend ourselves. It's so easy in the modern world. I think about this a lot, about how sorry, I hope you can't hear her crunching. Hi, baby. We overextend ourselves in the modern world. We sign up for all sorts of classes and things like that. You know, I took a class one time, an online class about selling classes. And in this class, she talked about how people just like to buy classes. Like, people just love it for whatever reason. People just truly enjoy that. Chew with your mouth closed. But they do. And I have bought many more classes than I will probably ever take. I bought more classes that I could remember. Now my secret trick is I bookmark them all so that I can keep them in my bookmarks and go back to them when I'm like, okay, I have a free hour. What am I going to do? Check my bookmarks and go to a class I bought that I never finished. But this exact transit is going to invite us to assess things like that. Assess the things we've committed to, the classes we have committed to take, the lessons that we're committing to drive people to, the commitments we have to serve other people, the commitments that we have in our relationships, the emotional commitments that we have. And we are going to have situations show up for us that help us to reevaluate, are all of those commitments necessary? Are all of those in our best interests? Are they really blessing everybody involved? Or am I doing this out of guilt? Am I doing this out of shame? Am I doing this because I guilt trip myself, because other people have guilt tripped me? Am I doing this to avoid a difficult conversation? Am I doing this because I'm scared to make a phone call? Am I doing this because I don't want to deal with digging through all the stuff on the internet and clicking the buttons that are so confusing, right? What commitments have we made that maybe have outstayed their welcome? Where in our lives do we need to pare down our commitments? So hopefully, if you didn't see yesterday's video, just go back and see yesterday's video real quick, because it just helps us to make an assessment of all the commitments that we have going on in our lives. Today, the invitation is to really look within and see what needs to go or what needs to be adjusted. Maybe you don't need to stop taking your kid to piano lessons, but maybe something has to change about how they're getting there. Maybe you need to see if there's like a carpool option, or maybe you need to see if there's a better way to help your kid practice, how to handle these different micro commitments that are part of the bigger commitments that we all have made in all sorts of areas in our lives. So that is my invitation for us today, is to figure out where in our lives do we need to adjust this is from the car. They took it in now so we can drink in a water bottle in the house. But anyway, where do you need to adjust your commitments? What do you need to get rid of? What do you need to say goodbye to? What kind of difficult conversations or difficult internet clicking have you been putting off that maybe today is the day it's time to do some internet clicking? Maybe it's time today to dial that phone number and actually make some real changes to what you are committed to. You are important, and it is important that you are not overcommitted. I am reading this book, Effortless, right now by Greg McKeown, and I had it right here, but I don't anymore, but it's a very good book and I recommend it. He wrote Essentialism, which is also a fabulous book if you haven't read it. But he had this great nugget of wisdom in there that just said, do not do more in one day than you can recover from in one day. Do not do more in 1 week than you can recover from in 1 week. That, to me, is like the message of this transit. We need to look within and see where in ourselves are we doing more every day than we can possibly recover from in a day. This is a time when we need to be really conscious about where we need to pare down, step back, adjust, assert our own needs in these different contexts so that we can have our needs met. You are the one that needs to be sure that you're taking the actions that you need to take to get your needs met. You are the one that is responsible for your own health, for how much sleep you're getting, for for making sure that your commitments are met. But when we overcommit ourselves, we damage not just ourselves, but everybody else. When we are overcommitted, our health suffers, our emotional health suffers, our mental health suffers, our relationships suffer. Everything suffers when we do more in one day than we can recover from in one day. And I know this is hard to hear, and it's been hard for me to hear as I've been reading this book and assessing my own life, realizing, okay, like I have been a chronic overdoer, chronic overworker. I come from a long line of workaholics, right? And this is unhealthy. And we pay for it in terms of our actual health. It can be okay to pare down and step back. And I'll say, I mentioned this with my last video series on Money Miracles. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. It's in the Money Miracles playlist here on YouTube. I loved it. People saw a lot of really big changes and really helped heal their money mindsets. So go check it out. It's really good. But I just batch recorded most of that whole thing in a single day. This series as well, I'm doing all, not in a single day, but I'm doing them when I can, in those moments when my kid is watching Bluey in the basement until she comes up and decides that she wants to have a little snack right next to me while I'm recording. It's okay to do things when you feel good enough to do them, and to not do them when you don't feel good enough to do them. It is okay to adjust your commitments. It is okay to take a step back. It is okay to realize and really internalize that this is your life. And your life is, this finite amount of time that is marked by your ability to breathe in and out, right? Every day, life is breath. That is what life is. Are you breathing? Then you are alive. If you are not breathing, you are not alive. And your ability to breathe those breaths is going to come down to how you spend every single day of your life. Okay, how does every single day go? I know Jordan Peterson is a little controversial. I like him, but he talks about how the most important things that you do every day are the things that you do every day. It's the meals that you eat every day. It's the laundry that you do every day. How you do the things that you do every day is what makes your overall life. And it's what sets the trajectory for your entire life. So when I'm talking about this, about reassessing our commitments, this exercise that you do today could truly change your life for the rest of your life. It has that kind of power if you do the work to sit down and really evaluate, is the way that I'm spending my time appropriate? Have I overextended? Do I need to take a step back and rest for the sake of my own health? The good news is the stars have aligned and you have a lot of support on a heavenly level. Like, I believe God set the stars in their heavenly tracks and that the stars affect us through their gravitational pulls, and it's all with God behind it. And God has set it up that right now we all have an enormous amount of support to help us as we put the oxygen mask on ourselves first. So that is my big invitation to you. Where do you need to move around your commitments? Where do you need to adjust your commitments so that you can breathe? You need to be able to breathe. Okay, that's it for today. I'm excited to see you tomorrow. Don't forget to hang out on Facebook, Intuitive Healing with Allie Gisette. We're all extremely amazing in there. So come over, make some new friends. We're going to have a good time. Don't forget to like and subscribe, hit the notification bell if you want these videos to your phone every day. I hope that you have the best day.